Deutsch. What should I do?
Ah, ich weiß.
Get Germanized.
I'm here today with Rodrigo from the channel Alemanizando and Elissa behind the camera helping out today. Say hi, yes, like that, exactly. And I have asked you on different social medias if, well, you have any questions that you want to ask two Brazilians that have lived in Berlin for quite a while now. How many years exactly?
We have been here for 5 years now.
5 years, damn. Okay, so that definitely makes you kind of an expert, at least for Berlin, because you travel around Berlin a lot as well. And well, maybe there's some interesting questions that you can answer for us.
Let's see.
Let's go. Well, we'll start with a very broad question. And I'm not sure if you have anything specific in mind, but which were the biggest cultural shocks? Again, you have lived here for quite a while, so it's hard to see them as shocks by now, maybe?
Exactly, yeah. It's been so long that people, things are normal for me now, right? Even things that maybe at first it was weird. Like one thing that always gets our attention when we arrive in Germany is how fast the cashiers are on the supermarkets. They're just like, beep, beep, beep. It's like product, and then, oh, it costed $35.95, and then you pay and you go and you run away, you know? And then Brazil is like, hey, how are you doing? Beep. How's family? Beep. And your dog is fine? Beep. It's like one product at a time, like beep, talking, and then we have like 100 cashiers open because people are taking their time, and he's like, beep, beep, beep. It's super fast. So it's like very efficient, very efficient. And then, okay, of course we get used to that, and now for us it's absolutely normal. It's not a problem at all. Other things like cultural shocks. Let's see, anything from behind the camera?
Maybe the connection with nature that the Germans have. They're always naked.
Yeah, that's a very good one.
Always.
Always.
We're always naked.
Yeah, that's from behind the camera. Another good one, the nature connection that the Germans have, like the FKK, Freikörperkultur, the free body culture. We are from Brazil. People expect us to be very naked, maybe, but that's not true. We are very sober.
Well, sorry, wait.
Yeah, we are very sober. Like everybody, being like nudist in Brazil is not a big thing, and here is way bigger than Brazil. Like even in the city center of Berlin, we have the Tiergarten. The Tiergarten has a small naked area, and it's like very surprising. You're just walking around like, oh, okay.
But do you think that's because we are in Berlin and it is like formally like at least one part of it DDR?
Yeah, you have the specific DDR thing, right?
Yeah, it's very DDR. And very. I think that's what they mostly did when they went on holiday. It was very normal.
Yes, but I heard that in Bayern they also do a lot of.
I mean, I'm sure by now there's like these FKK cultures everywhere in Germany. They have certain beaches for that. And I mean, in saunas, you completely strip naked as well. Yeah. That's just required, I guess.
That's normal, yeah.
Yeah, it's normal. It was actually a big shock to me personally as well. The first time I went into one of those with my, at the time, Australian girlfriend, and she was super shocked too. Seeing my parents naked and stuff like that. So yeah, get ready. But yeah, I guess depends on where you go in Germany. Well, but it's definitely a thing here. We do it.
Yes, and that was a little bit of a cultural shock. Nothing like, oh my God, it's just like, wow, okay. Didn't expect that, you know?
So next up, a very scandalous one. What's your favorite German curse words?
I think my favorite one is I think it's very powerful. It's very funny to say as well, like because it can be just like
Yeah, that's a good one actually. Mine is probably, and yeah, I mean, you shouldn't say that to anyone really, but it's pretty crass. But yeah, anyway, so those are our favorite ones.
And what about you, Elissa?
Well, for me, but I'm not on the video.
Now you are. Next question is, I'm not Brazilian, but I want to know if they liked das Schnitzel.
Das Schnitzel. Yeah, I really like das Schnitzel. I like der Wurst.
Die
Wurst.
Die Wurst.
Das Bier.
Yes.
So yes, I do like German cuisine, these things. I think they're very heavy and it's not something that I want to eat every day, but overall it's very delicious. I really like deep fried things, so.
He just told me about a restaurant here in Berlin. They serve like massive, larger than plate-sized schnitzel. And I thought at first like it was one of those restaurants where you go and if you manage to eat it, then you get it for free. But he said, no, it's not a joke restaurant.
Yeah, it's true.
It's a fancy place.
It's an Austrian, it's not fancy, but it's very legit Austrian restaurant in the south of Berlin, kind of in city center, but it's kind of southern. And it's 1.2 kilos. I ate there many times, but usually we share between 2 or 3 friends.
Damn. That is a heavy schnitzel. I might try that. We'll
Yeah,
see.
we can go there, I guess.
Nice. And we'll show you on Instagram, actually. Instagram plug.
Yes.
What's your Instagram?
Canal Alemanizando on Instagram, also on Twitter, also on Facebook, also subscribe on YouTube.
Everywhere. If you have ever considered going back to Brazil, and if so, why, I guess?
Not really. We have been here for 5 years, but we are very comfortable here. We really like the city. We made a lot of friends. We created our whole lives here, right? Because we got married and we came straight away. So it was like us together building something new. And so we have everything here. And of course, we do have family and friends in Brazil, but our lives are here now. So we are here and we are happy here.
That's awesome, man. That's really cool. Next question, or it kind of goes into the one we just had, I guess, a little bit. What's the biggest difference in terms of the people and culture in comparison to Brazil?
You can say that people in Brazil are more friendly in a way that you become fast friends, like you meet someone and you have friends in common and then you connect very fast and you're like talking and having fun straight away. Here we feel people are a little bit more reserved, but both things have its pros and cons, right? Like people can be very friendly in Brazil. We can have a great night with them, like a lot of fun. But then for the future, maybe they're not going to be like friends that are going to be there for when you need them. And here, if you insist a little bit more with the German and you make like a good friends out of them, they're going to be there for you to help and.
You had the good example with like helping you to move.
Yeah.
Well, Brazilians, I mean, not every Brazilian, I'm sure,
of course, yeah.
but some might say, "Oh, no, sorry, I don't have time on that day." But then you go like, "But I haven't even told you the date yet."
Yes.
Stuff like that, you know.
Of course, like we do help our friends, and our Brazilian friends help us because we are good friends.
Yeah.
It's just that the rhythm of things are accelerated in Brazil. That's what I think about this kind of friendship thing.
And we have a good real life example as well, right?
Yeah.
Don't we? From last night when they were so kind to take me to one of their friends' birthday parties at a public place.
Yes.
And I was really worried because I'm not invited. Obviously, I wasn't. So, then I found out they haven't even told them about me coming. So I was super worried.
Yeah.
So I went there like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm Dominic, and I'm here with them."
And she's like,
"Sorry," and she just didn't care. And then if you did that. Well, in some cases at least, with a German birthday party, the host might get annoyed a little bit more at least because
how dare you
who's
bring
that?
Yeah, like
Because it's a very personal thing, right? And you just want to relax with your friends and don't have to look after what you say all the time and stuff. Because you know that the people that you're surrounded with will not take the joke the wrong way or will not get offended by anything. And if you have a stranger there, then you need to be careful and it's not as relaxing. I think that might be the reasoning behind it for some Germans. I mean, that's probably not only for Germans, but for some people in general. It's just a personality thing, I guess. We talked about this question when we walked here because I was like, damn, how long would it take me personally to know my way around Berlin without having to use Google all the time? So how long did that take you think?
I think it took like more than 1 year to really get a grasp of the city that you don't need to check all the time. But we still do check Google because it's very complete here in Berlin. It's really precise. It knows like, even when a bus is 2 minutes late, it knows. It's very well connected with the overall system. So if you check, I want to go here, from here. You just check quite quickly and then you know the best route and you take it. But we don't need to double check all the time because you just see, okay, I need to do this. And then we remember because we know the way now. We know all the stations, we know the directions of the city. So yeah, maybe 1 year to just really remember everything so you don't need to double check all the time.
But you also made a point of walking many places and exploring places, right? So if you do that, of course, the process will be faster than as if you just go to the same places all the time and don't explore everything, right?
And also like really walking and staying above ground, because if you're all the time taking the U-Bahn, then you're just kind of teleporting from place to place. You don't really understand the city and where's what, you know?
Yeah. Teleporting is a good word.
Yeah.
I like that.
It takes time, like it's a very slow teleport.
Yeah.
But it's just like in a dark tunnel and then you're in a different place.
Right.
Also, one thing that you can use as a very nice viewpoint is that TV tower. If you go to the direction of the TV tower, you're going to go to the city center. You're going to Alexanderplatz. So you always know, okay, doesn't matter where I am. If I want to go to the center, Follow the tower, and you can basically see it from everywhere.
That's super convenient. I mean, other cities like Cologne have the Cologne Cathedral. You can do it with that as well. But like just this phallic tower, perfect.
That's much higher than anything else.
Yeah, pretty much. It's nice. Okay, someone is asking, please, could you ask your friends what they find the hardest thing about learning or using the German language?
About learning, grammatics.
Yeah,
The grammar, right? The grammar is very complicated. The three genders and der, die, das. This is all very confusing for someone that's learning because it doesn't come natural. It's something you really need to remember for many of the things. Of course, you have rules, but you also have the exceptions all over the place. So can be the most troubling thing to someone learning German and using it day to day. But at the same time, when you're actually using or talking to people, nobody's going to like be super angry if you miss a das for a d or the der, you know. You can mispronunciate or use the wrong one, and people are not going to be pissed, or they're not going to even correct you. Just okay, this guy doesn't know, fine. But
yeah.
I still understand he wants a beer, even if it's like der Bier, not das Bier. Like obviously it's still a beer, so no problem, you know.
So do you have any tips for someone who's learning the language? Maybe something that you would have loved to know back when you started?
Yeah, like I would actually like to know more German before coming to Germany. Of course, we did an intensive course and that helped us a lot. But if you already know more of the basic, it'd be really good. Like you already have like a solid groundwork. It would be really nice to build over that. Also, if the person is single and comes here and just like really gets into the culture, just listens to music, to German music, watches German movies, hang out with Germans, then the speed of your learning is going to be massive. Like we are always like with international friends, we talk Portuguese to each other at home, so we got very slow learning process. In Berlin also you have so many possibilities of talking in English with everyone. That's also not, if you really immerse yourself in the culture and the language, is going to be way faster, like much faster. There's people that can learn German in a couple of years, like really good German. We know people that did that, so it is possible.
It's kind of the curse of Berlin, isn't it? When you have so many English speakers around, that's just convenient to speak English with all the time.
Yes, for us living here is much better, of course. It's much more convenient, much more low effort.
Yeah.
But it's something you miss.
Elisa, do you have anything? So Elisa basically just said, thank you very much for that, by the way, that you should learn the word with the article and also the different forms, the conjugations, right? The plural form and so on and so forth, which makes it just so much easier to remember in the end, right? At first, it's going to be, of course, way more effort, but it's definitely going to pay off in the long term. So do that. Good answer. So a little interjection, a nerd question here, a little nerd question. So what's your Hogwarts house?
My Hogwarts house is definitely Ravenclaw.
Definitely?
Yes. I never did a test, but I'm sure. Because I really connect with their whole concept, like geeks learning a lot, really going deep into the magical studies. That's what I want for me. I want Ravenclaw.
Oh, nice. I always wanted to be a Slytherin, but then one day I took the test and I was a Gryffindor.
Yeah, clearly a jock, a sportsman.
Totally.
Very courageous.
No, but yeah, anyway, Elisa, what's your house?
So I always thought I would be a Slytherin also, and then today I took the test and turns out I am very evil. I have a black cat and
everything.
Maybe just smart and cunning.
Yes, that's what they usually say as like a scapegoat thing about being evil. But we have 3 houses here, so that's pretty fun.
Pretty interesting.
Yes.
Elisa is definitely Slytherin, for sure. Smart and cunning, that's why. Not evil.
And dressing black all the time.
Yes. Like me. I mean, not today, but usually.
Yes.
A lot of black. So next up is, did you enjoy Berlin? And if so, why? So basically, what's your favorite thing about the city, I guess?
Okay, that's easy. So from the first time I visited Berlin, like many years ago, I was really hooked about how the city is very spacious. Spacious in many senses, like it's literally spacious. There's a lot of places to walk and go. It's not so packed together. There's not like millions of people walking around all the time. So it's a little bit more relaxed. Also, it's spacious because there's people all kinds here. You can be yourself here. People really go nuts sometimes about that. But people that are really themselves and their real selves are really crazy. I really respect that. I think that's great. Like you can have fun being you here in Berlin. It's also the greenery is very nice. It's very relaxed. It can be very relaxing, and also usually the cost of living here is very nice. Of course, like there's all the rental things people are talking about is raising up the prices, but overall, like prices on the supermarkets, a price for a fresh beer on the Späti, you can buy one for under €1. You have that. You can go by a canal, something like that, and that's a very nice evening, and it only costed €1. So you can have like a great time for nothing. Basically, it's something. It's really easy to relax here. Actually, that's something I really like about Berlin.
Sounds amazing, actually. I really enjoy the city as well. I'm actually secret thinking about moving here as well. So next question is, how are Germans around foreigners? Honestly, because people don't believe that we tell the truth sometimes, I guess.
Honestly.
But yeah.
Look away then, because now I'm going to be completely honest. No, usually I would say Germans are normal people. They are not going to be, Germans are not evil. They're not all Slytherins. They are very decent people. Sometimes they are more in your face than a Latin person would be. But that's fine. That's just how the culture is. And you need to understand that as well sometimes. All our friends, like we made many German friends. They're all very awesome. They are super nice. Overall, people on the streets that we meet are nice. People like chilling on the streets, walking by, they're making some comments, people with the dogs. I don't know, man. Like overall, I see Germans are a very nice bunch of people.
Yeah, it's glad to hear. I mean, of course, you will have the black sheep everywhere, right?
Yeah, of course. There's people that are on a bad mindset. There are people that are like not so healthy around Berlin sometimes, obviously. And then maybe they're going to be bad people, but
it's a big city. There's going to be drug addicts.
It's a big city. You know,
it's going to be like someone of every section of person.
Like a portion.
Something like that. Yeah. So it's not necessarily any worse or any better than anywhere else, right?
I don't think there's like a country where everybody's like smurf, like jumping around happy. Like this doesn't exist.
Yeah. Some person that's been bad to you or unfriendly to you one day might just have had a bad day, right?
Yeah.
And so next day they might be completely fine. So yeah, you never know. So don't judge people right away.
Yes.
What's the quickest way to find a place to stay? I guess for just coming here as a tourist and for maybe when you move here.
Well, as a tourist it's pretty easy, right? Like you have all the hotels, all the hostels, you have all the Airbnbs you can have. If you want to move for a longer time, then maybe the easiest would be have a WG. That's like a shared apartment. They are sometimes easier to get than an empty apartment. It's much more complicated because then you need to have you need to be working. They will expect you to give them your like sheets like showing that you're making money in Germany, that you're here all correct and everything. Besides a WG, besides a shared flat, also sub-rental or sublet. So like renting a place with all the furniture, etc. from a specialized agency. They are much easier to get also than an empty apartment. And that's much faster as well. There's not social life, and they're usually way more expensive. So
for sure. I mean, I have friends who did it that way as well. It was a super nice place, but it was super expensive, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. We did that before because we didn't have how to rent an empty flat from the beginning, right? We were like finding a job, etc. Then we found, and then after a few months, we were able to go for it. But for many months, we had to stay in one of those sublets, and it was much more expensive. But if you are going for not so expensive and not so hard, maybe sharing a flat.
All right, I think if we don't have any more, I mean, we do have more, but the video is already really long. Maybe we'll do a part 2 one day, and then you can ask those questions again.
Yes.
So thank you very much for answering all these questions.
Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. Thanks for having me here in Berlin, showing me around.
This beautiful day.
Being a beautiful host. Elisa as well, thank you. And do you want to plug anything? You have Instagram, you have Twitter. We mentioned that already, but do it again.
We have everything.
Yes.
Yes, we do have. If you are a Brazilian or a Portuguese person or maybe a Portuguese speaker, because we are not going to judge you by your nationality, obviously, you're all welcome to our channel because our channel is 100% in Portuguese. So if you don't speak the language, then maybe it's not very useful.
But if you want to learn it.
Yeah, maybe if you're learning as well, it's Canal Alemanizando. So Canal Alemanizando everywhere, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, and Facebook.
Yeah,
So-
check them out. They're super lovely people, as you were able to say. And thank you very much for watching. You can also check out my social media, as always, in the video description. And apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to get Germanized. Goodbye and auf Wiedersehen.